We are back with another episode of Cape Time 2022. The year has wrapped, and we have taken a semi long hiatus between literally us getting COVID and
How did we get
many other
COVID like
things.
at the same time?
Yeah, I still have it, even though I don't feel much anymore. But, doing good though, doing good.
Yeah, I got my shot, so thankfully.
I was literally gonna get mine, and then I found out I had COVID, and I was like, shit, now I gotta wait.
It's just what a mess. What a mess.
Yeah.
We're alive. We're alive. We made it.
Yes.
Oh,
All right.
so now we
Yeah,
get
we
to
got a
talk about.
lot. There's so
Yeah,
much to discuss, man, because we have been out for a while, and this is gonna be a long episode. This will be a long episode.
yeah, yeah. So buckle up, strap in,
Yeah.
whatever your preferred method of safety is, because you're gonna need it. Because this is gonna be.
There's a couple heavy hitters I'm really excited to talk about in this episode. There's quite a few, honestly. And I think I know where I want to start personally. Um, I am riding the high of all the Doctor Strange hype right now, and I kind of got to talk about it. Like, I really
Go
got to
for it.
talk about. This is a movie. There was a time where I kind of tempered my expectations in terms of, I guess, like the cameo multiverse craziness of it. Like, I kind of started to think like, I want it to be nuts, but I understand it might not be as crazy as I was thinking originally. But now I'm back to okay, this might be crazier than I even initially was thinking because they added so much in reshoots, dude. Like they have been adding and adding, especially because of how well received. Well, not how well received No Way Home was, because obviously that was way too recent, but how well they realized No Way Home worked during its production, and they
Mm.
saw like we can have a great story and still have some multiversal shenanigans here. Why don't we do more of that? And they doubled down on it. And they changed up their Illuminati roster to include some very exciting names and one that we may have just heard about yesterday. So if you don't want leaks, I mean, this is the
You know
podcast
what?
to not. Yeah, this
It,
podcast is
yeah,
we have leaks. We
yeah.
discuss leaks. It's what we do. But
Spoiler alert! If you don't want
yeah,
spoilers, just run away. I don't know.
yeah. Run away from your
Uh,
computer.
run away. Throw your phone. I don't know.
Yeah, throw the phone, do whatever you got to do. But
Yeah.
so we might be getting. Well, I would say not even probably. I would say 99.9% chance we are getting John Krasinski as Reed Richards in Doctor Strange 2, which is a total what the fuck moment, dude. When I read that, I thought I was just. I thought I misread it because I was like, "There's no way, there's no way." And then I read it and I just shit myself.
It
Absolutely shit.
it's like it kind of came out of nowhere because I was
It
hearing other
did.
names. So, but
Like that was a name I always knew had a chance, but I
that's
never
been
thought
the
it was gonna
name.
happen. That's what I'm saying.
That's been like
But
it was
but
almost too
usually, like
obvious.
exactly, usually when
Uh,
someone is the name, they
mm,
usually don't get cast.
yeah, which is
Usually.
ironic considering DC is also having that with Dylan
Yeah.
O'Brien because like
Uh-huh.
so like now here we are and it's like it's good casting. It's just like it was just the one that's right in front of you, and it's
Yeah, because
like
his name has been brought up for a while for that role.
because remember when they're casting Spider Man, everyone wanted like Logan Lerman,
Yep.
Dylan O'Brien. They wanted these names that everyone already knew, and then this British kid comes out of nowhere and gets the job,
Yeah.
and now he's the household name. So that's usually what you expect, but I guess you just couldn't pass up on Jim from The Office. So there you go.
I some people don't like it, some people really do, but either way, we don't even know the full extent of if that's going to be MCU. Obviously, in the movie, it's a variant. That much
Yeah.
we know. It's more about whether or not the MCU Reed Richards is the same casting. That we don't know. No one really knows yet. I don't think, honestly. But I will see. I'll say this. It seems awfully convenient to me that they supposedly have cast a member of the Fantastic Four already, and now we're getting a member of the Fantastic Four in Doctor Strange 2. Maybe it's just me. I think that's a little blatant.
I'm so confused right now. To be honest, I'm
I
like,
thought I thought we were gonna get the
cause
one
like,
from Fox, dude. I thought not Miles
oh,
Teller, obviously.
I
Yeah.
think he's still I think he's still in there. I just
I
think,
don't. I
cause
don't.
I actually do think he's still in there. I think they're cool with showing like multiple versions of the
I
same
do
character.
too. I just didn't think. I don't think we're gonna get two of Reed Richards specifically, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But
I actually, I can't like tell you told me, but like a buddy of mine who would know said that I own. I think that no, his name is actually pronounced Johann Griffiths.
is it
Yes,
Johan?
yeah, it's pronounced Johann. It's just an interesting spelling. Uh, so I did actually hear that he filmed some stuff. So I do think he's in there still. I heard like
Interesting.
I heard spoiler alert, I heard like the final battle is like a bunch of
Yeah.
variants and fighting their
Yeah.
variants and shit, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like
It's like
it's,
whoa.
I was like, whoa, is Ben Affleck coming down here?
I'll say this, dude. Like that, whatever the final battle ends up being, if it's something along those lines, I think that's a good compromise where you're not having a bunch of cameos necessarily deter from the story. It's just like it's part of a larger battle that was gonna happen anyway. So like it works.
I
And
love
like
this shit.
dude, it's bizarre. And like a lot of the fun cameos that have a little more quote unquote meaning are probably gonna be like in the Illuminati, obviously, before,
Mm.
they get fucking murked by Wanda. But
Uh, I'm so excited for this movie, and like what we heard yesterday just makes it that much more exciting because we there was a little concern like with the reshoots, a little concern, but everything from that test screening went really well, so seems like we
yeah,
are back on track.
from the three people that have commented on the test screenings, all three said the audience really liked it. Hasn't been any negative reviews from the three people that have put it out there. That's Grace Randolph, who obviously I have my issues with, but you know what? You got to give credit where it's due. She got that one right.
Yeah,
So she got it right. And
yeah, I believe
yeah,
she and another scooper have been exchanging stuff, which is good.
yeah.
So like her information is getting more credible.
It has gotten better, I will say. I heard her sources. I've seen her get some stuff right more recently over the last few months than previously. Because before, she was full of shit. Always, I'm gonna be honest. She like was
Yeah,
always
so
off the mark. But
it's good now that a blue check mark is actually providing accurate information because like
yes,
it is actually dangerous when you're providing bullshit that
oh
you're
yeah,
running as fact, and so thankfully it's accurate information, and I'm happy that it's good
yeah.
information on this one. So
Yeah, and
thank
like one of the big things we've been hearing too, this movie's apparently, thank God, I'm happy they kept this. It's very violent, dude. Like, it's a fucked up movie, and that's
that's what
like
I like to hear.
this is gonna be like the Batman, I think, where it's really gonna push the boundaries of PG-13. Like, it's gonna be on the edge, and that's really cool. That's
Sam
really exciting.
Sam Raimi is a fucked up dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's not afraid to go the extra mile with his violence and dark elements, and that's what I wanted to see for this movie, and we're gonna get those horror influences, and I'm very excited to see like there's so many different things they can do with this movie, man. Obviously, the cameos are gonna be great, and we don't even know like 10% of what they're gonna do in that sense. I don't think honestly, like there's so many things that I feel like they
There are
do.
a lot. There are a lot of like what you think. Like I believe Casey Walsh said this is like
Yes,
what you think is like
they've tried it.
the smallest. If you think of something, they've probably tried it, and it's like I'm just so happy about that because like if I were directing a movie
Yeah,
if I were making a movie like this, I'd just like my brain would just go to you know everything that has come before. Like
yeah.
I do wonder if like I don't know if like I kind of want to see the Hulk from 2003 if
I have a feeling you will, man. I mean, the
like
thing is, that's such an iconic character for people. I'd be shocked if they didn't ask him.
like that would be so cool, man, because like I have like a weird love for that movie because I used to play the video game on PS2 all the time, the movie tie-in game for it.
Uh-huh.
It's like I do still consider that movie to be in the Tobey Maguire universe as well as Ben Affleck's Daredevil. Like I
Okay.
just consider all of those early to mid 2000s Marvel movies, even Blade, even though that was like late 90s. All of
Yeah.
that same universe, even if the continuity doesn't match up. Same universe. Same universe.
I really hope they. I'm not. I'm trying to think. Like, I think they're gonna try. I'd be shocked if Hugh Jackman isn't in it. I'm gonna be honest. Just
Yeah,
because,
he's
like, I don't see how you can celebrate Marvel's history and not bring in the most iconic non MCU character probably they've had outside of Toby.
yeah. They
Like,
found they found a way to get Patrick Stewart in there.
yeah,
So
like, there's been rumblings of. I'm not sure which actor, but definitely Magneto. Like, there's been some rumblings out there that he's going to be in it too. I mean, whether it's Ian McKellen or Fassbender, I have no idea, but
I kind of hope it's Fassbender.
I do too. I do too,
Like,
or
cause
both.
like,
Give
cause
me
like
both.
he's kind of he's like Magneto in like his prime in a way. So like, kind of want to see that.
I want
Uh,
both.
yeah. I wish McAvoy would come back. I don't know if he's coming back, but
I really
I,
don't know.
I'm a
I
big
wouldn't. There's not much right now. I'm ruling out honestly. There's really
yeah.
not much. I'm like, that's not happening.
Like, cause here's the thing. Like, First Class and Days of Future Past are like two of my favorite recent Marvel movies, and like, well, I wouldn't say recent because they're both a little while ago, and so I love those two performances so much, Fassbender and McAvoy.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like I want to see them go out on a high note, especially after Bryan Singer took over the franchise fully and just screwed it up monumentally.
yeah,
Uh, Not to mention being a creep, and so fuck that guy. But like, think of all the promise that X-Men franchise had if Matthew Vaughn stayed on instead of Singer.
yeah.
Because like
No, you're right.
Matthew Vaughn came up with the story for Days of Future Past. They just kicked him off for Singer. So like all that was just Matthew Vaughn's idea that they just took and gave it to Singer.
Um,
So fuck. Fuck. I mean, just don't get me started because those two performances, especially in First Class, oh my god.
yeah.
Give I would watch 15 of those movies. Like you know what? You know what? Just continue. Just continue.
Yeah, I mean,
Just continue.
again, cameos are gonna be fun. I think there's a lot that we obviously don't know about. Like I was saying, I mean, I think there's so many that I hope we see that we don't know about yet. Like I would love to see Deadpool in there, man. I would really love to see Deadpool in there. I'm hoping we see
Yeah.
fucking. I mean, come on, that'd be so hilarious. And I know for a fact he was gonna be in the movie originally, like way like going back to when they first wrote it, but it didn't work out. But I'm hoping that they worked it out now with reshoots. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Maybe they can bring in. Trying to think who else there is. There's so many. There's literally so many that like my mind's racing at all the ideas right now.
I wonder if they get Wesley Snipes back.
I don't know. I mean, my gut tells me no on that one.
Yeah.
Just a feeling, but that'd be cool. I mean, I would love it.
Yeah, he used to beat Halle Berry so bad that she went deaf in her ear. So
Yeah, that's a concern.
so yeah, I love the movies, but I don't know if you want that baggage. But whatever. Speaking of baggage, no, I'm kidding. I was about to talk about Black Panther for sure. No,
Oh well.
because
Well, that baggage supposedly
yeah, she got the vaccine.
Yeah,
She got the
you know why?
money.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. She's fucking weak if that's true. Like
Yeah,
that's embarrassing.
that's
Like I almost would have rather had you stay strong and not get it than than give in and say, you know what, my own ideology doesn't mean much if you give me money. Like that's just fucking weak. Like
yeah.
I would have rather had you not get it than pull that shit because that's just so embarrassing, so embarrassing.
People that try to play the moral high ground,
Yeah,
they
like
usually just have a price.
they have a
And
price.
so yeah, so I'm happy that she is vaccinated for her own safety,
Yeah,
and that I don't wish injury upon her. So and she clearly suffered many an injury. So I'm glad she's okay. But yeah, Winston Duke got that pay raise though because of that. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Congratulations to Winston. Congratulations. He used that. He seized that opportunity. Got that Disney bag.
Yep.
Congratulations, Winston.
Good for him,
Congratulations.
man. Good for
Hell
him.
yeah. Hell yeah. Get that Disney bag. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, but back to Doctor Strange for a second. I think we should talk about, since we just talked about the Reed Richards cameo, we should probably talk about the fact that they
Yes.
asked Ben Affleck back to be
Yeah, they
Daredevil.
they did. They asked Ben Affleck to reprise the role of Daredevil for the movie, and I think there was one report saying he said no, if I remember right, but like no one really
No
knows
one
for
knows.
sure. Mostly, I, it's one of those things. My gut tells me he wouldn't do it just because he said he's done with big IPs and everything, and like it would go against everything he's been saying. But at the same time, it's
Uh,
literally probably like a 3-minute cameo, and Marvel's gonna throw a bag of money at him. So like, why wouldn't he do it?
like, let's just
Like, why not?
let's just say this. You do like, so you show up to set
Yeah,
for one day,
yeah,
the set of the most popular brand in the world right now, right? Especially in movies. Like Marvel is the king of the world right now.
yeah,
And so all you have to do is show up to be directed by one of the greatest directors in comic
yeah,
book movie history, produced by one of the best producers in movie history, the most successful producer for sure.
yeah,
Not to mention a film that's probably going to end up with good reviews, making a boatload of money, right? And all you have to do to get your name in the credits is accept a boatload of cash, play blind for a minute, and leave and go get your Dunkin' Donuts.
yeah. I mean, if I'm Ben Affleck, I don't know why you would say no. I'm gonna be honest.
Like there's no like he loves comic book characters, so I don't understand. Like if I were him, I'd just like do it and leave. I'd just do it
Yeah,
and leave. It's that simple. Like I don't think he should have to play the moral high ground because he doesn't want
no.
to. He doesn't want to play a superhero in an expanded capacity
Yes,
anymore.
yes.
Like he doesn't want to do Batman. He doesn't want to be in like a bunch of sequels and yada 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 and be Batman long term. But if he can be Daredevil for literally 2 minutes, accept a shit ton of cash to do it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Me neither. And I
Like
will say though, it will be really funny just because DC fans would fucking go
traitor,
nuts.
traitor.
No, they will. You know they will.
Yeah,
They will go nuts.
I
And
wouldn't call them DC fans.
boy, true,
I
true.
just call them
Snyder cultists.
No, I mean, because I like Snyder a lot, but like
That's why I said Snyder cultists. There's a difference.
yeah, it's like I don't want to be yeah, Snyder cultist.
Yeah, exactly. There's a difference.
Like, because it's just like they don't understand that people move on, and that
Yeah.
he doesn't want to be. He doesn't. Fine, I'll just say it. He doesn't want to be Batman anymore.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't want to be Batman anymore.
But he also cares about the fans though, and that's why he came back for the Flash to give his character a proper send off. He cares. He cares enough to do that. And that's good for him.
And that's
good.
good.
For him.
He just didn't want to be Batman in an expanded capacity. He didn't want to be in the Batman. He didn't want to do sequels. He didn't want to be in any more Justice League movies. Justice League 2017 with Joss Whedon kind of killed his vibe, and so it's like I'm kind of out on this now. And good. Congratulations to Ben. Ben's been making good movies, and he's probably gonna. I want to see him direct more movies because like he directed Gone Baby Gone. He directed The Town, and he directed Argo. And then he directed, I believe, Live by Night. And then he really hasn't directed anything since.
Yeah.
And, like, 3 out of the 4 movies were, like, Oscar contenders. And so...
He's really good. He's really good at what he does.
He almost directed Man of Steel before Snyder.
I did not.
Yeah, they wanted him to... I think they wanted him to play Superman as well.
That would have been weird. That would
Yeah,
have been really weird. No,
I
I love Affleck, but no, that would have
they
been wrong.
also Disney. I believe Disney. They were coming off the high of Argo. They offered him Star Wars: The Force Awakens before J.J. Abrams took over.
Uh,
So he was getting like the big offers. Like
yeah,
he was
yeah,
like, they're like, we want you for Star Wars, Superman, fucking direct the Justice League movie. Hey, come direct the Barbie movie. I don't give a shit. But like, seriously. So congratulations, Ben. He doesn't want to be Batman anymore. He's not Batman anymore.
no.
Michael Keaton's Batman, and Robert Pattinson's Batman, and whoever else they cast in whatever.
Yeah, and
That's Batman.
same thing with Cavill to an extent. We know less about the Cavill situation, but I will
He wants to be
say,
Superman, but like,
but he doesn't like. He's not begging to come back. He has a career right now. He has The Witcher doing great on
yeah.
Netflix, and he's making bank doing that. And The Witcher, it takes up a lot of time with filming, and he probably wants to do some
Oh
other.
yeah, those things.
Yeah,
Those seasons
I
they take
know.
months to film, man. Like
No,
those
that's what I'm
fucking things
saying.
are.
So like, supposedly he has a crazy high asking price if he's going to come back from Man of Steel and or two or any other Superman related projects, and he's WB doesn't really
I
want
respect
to
it.
give in. Yeah, and
I
like
respect it.
if I'm
I
him,
would do
I'm
that.
probably doing the same. I mean, like he doesn't want to come back unless it's really worth it. And beyond that, it's like, again, he has a career right now that he doesn't need to just go do other shit for. He probably wants that time to relax, unless it's like a crazy offer. So, yeah, he's not. He's probably not coming back. I'd be
I would
surprised if he does.
I would just leave. Basically, if I were DC, I'd just leave the door open for a
Yeah,
few years, and
that's all.
whatever happens, happens. You don't necessarily need Superman right now, but like eventually, you want to
I
go
mean,
back.
you're gonna want Superman at some point.
Like eventually, like if it's just it's fucking Superman. You don't not want Superman. So
No.
that's
Like
my thought
there's
process.
a lot of controversy on this topic as a whole because you had the Flash leaks coming out saying oh, they're going to erase the Snyderverse, everything's going to be gone, it's all wasted. Every WB despises Snyder, and it's like no, 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 no. You guys are not even remotely listening to what's being said because this is a case of Flashpoint, and that's what Flashpoint does. It changes the
Gonna
timeline.
it's gonna bang up the continuity.
Yeah, like that's the entire point. Like things are gonna change, yeah, but like it's not because they hate the characters. It's just an easy way to explain why Affleck is gone now and why Cavill is probably gone now, and it's just convenient to them. It's not like they're erasing what happened. It did happen, just not in the DCEU continuity after the Flash. It happened in another timeline or previously. That's it. Like I know you don't like it, but like that's the way it's gonna be. So unless you want to convince these actors to come back yourself, stop whining about it. It's over. Just stop.
Affleck, we're gonna hold J Lo hostage. It's like he's
Like
not coming. He's not coming back.
it's
So.
bizarre, and like I love Batfuck as much as anybody. I fucking think he's awesome. In fact, if it was up to me, he'd still have a movie right now along with Pattinson's. I would have both going on right now. But you know what? It's not happening. It's not. So why
He
are we still?
doesn't want it.
Yeah, he doesn't want it. So why are we still talking about it?
You know what
It's
I would do that.
over.
You know what I would do? I would take his script. I would go up to Ben Affleck. I would take his script and I would say, "Let's turn this thing into like a graphic novel or something. Like, why not?"
Why not?
That's what I would do. I'd be like, "Yo, Ben, you got that script? We got like Jim Lee right here. You could draw your comic and turn this shit into a comic."
I just have to talk about the state of DC as a whole right now while we're into it, just because it needs to be said. For me, at least, everyone has different opinions on this. I'm not even totally sure what yours is, honestly, but I guess I'll find out in a minute. But
I rarely have thoughts.
but I'm guessing you have thoughts here.
Some.
I do too, and I'm actually fairly optimistic right now, and that's something I rarely am with DC. Like I have some optimism just looking at the upcoming slate of projects. Because next year you have quite a few awesome movies potentially coming out, man. I mean, obviously the Batman isn't DCEU, but still it's DC. I mean, it's going to be an awesome movie that's part of
Counts.
Elseworld. It counts.
It
But
counts.
but just looking at the actual DCEU though, we have Black Adam. Black Adam I think is going to be fucking dope. Like I really believe that. I think that movie's going to be awesome. You go beyond that. I mean, you have the Flash, which obviously controversy there, but you know what? The director's really good. He did a really good job with it. He's you know, the source material that they're working with, they're changing it around to do their own thing. But I think it's cool just based on things I've heard, and I gotta see it in action, obviously. But that's the one wild card I think still probably the Flash. That's like I could see that going either way. And then Aquaman is a movie where it's gonna be good because James Wan is a really good director. James Wan knows what he's doing, and Aquaman. I don't even if it doesn't end up blowing me away, it's gonna be a good movie. I guarantee you, it's gonna be a good movie. And beyond that, we have like Shazam, what is it? Fury of the Gods. I can't think of the name right now, but the sequel's gonna be really good. I'm sure Wonder Woman's supposed to be in it, and Rachel Zegler's cast in it. I mean, there's a lot of exciting things, man, and the Batgirl movie too. I mean, that's gonna be fucking awesome. We have Dylan O'Brien as Nightwing. We got Leslie Grace as Batgirl. You got Michael Keaton in it. It's kind of like a new version of Batman Beyond in a lot of ways, in the way the story is being told, and now fucking Peacemaker is the shit. I gotta say, man, Peacemaker is so good. I am loving everything DC has planned right now, and obviously we got to see it in action. They got to nail it, but I like the outline of what they're working with at the very least. At the very least, I like what they got right now. So
Hmm.
that's how I feel.
You know, I'm looking at the slate right now. That's that's why I've been looking down at the phone.
I feel like I forgot a movie, but
Da, 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 da. Yeah, I'm just going through it. We've got a lot of stuff with DC. Obviously, it sucks that we're probably not seeing Cavill for at least a while, and then Batfleck's gone. But there are a lot of really cool things in the works. All the HBO Max stuff looks cool. You got
yeah,
Batgirl coming out, which looks pretty cool. Which is very exciting because they're doing like the Bat family, and we haven't seen that in a long time. Uh, you know,
hmm
there are two Superman projects in development. I think Michael B. Jordan's doing one, and
yeah.
I forgot who else was doing the other. I
There,
think
yeah, there is another. I can't think of who it
J.J.
is.
Abrams is producing it or exec
Yes,
producing it,
yes,
and yeah, so you'll get Superman. Wonder Woman 3 is gonna wrap up that trilogy. Uh,
yeah.
Aquaman's doing his thing. Shazam, I'm very much into Shazam. Like you
Me
said, I
too.
think
I love Shazam.
Black Adam's gonna be a great movie, and like that's dope. I'm in on that. Uh, you know, I'm mostly into the Batman universe right now. So like the all the Pattinson stuff, like
Yeah.
that's my jam. Uh, so I'm mainly in on that, but like I'm not necessarily as out on the DCU as I once thought. When this whole report about the continuity getting erased, I was pretty pissed. I was like, really, we're doing that? But like now that you get more context, it's not really
Yeah.
being erased. It's like things are getting moved around and stuff and yada yada yada. But you know, I think I think the future of DC overall is bright. You're getting, you're not you, you're getting a lot with this new continuity. You're getting Dick Grayson back because Snyder killed him off. You could bring Jimmy Olsen back if you want because Snyder also killed him off. Uh, you know, and really, like, there's just a lot of room for. If you want to set up a universe, you don't want characters in like the first film to be dead, pre-existing characters to be dead.
hmm
So, I think overall it going forward, they're in good shape. I don't even think like you need another Justice League movie to be honest. Like
Not necessarily.
I'm just more into these characters being like on their own, doing their own thing,
So
and
in the
like
end, I just want good stories. That's all I
yeah,
really care about. Like whether it's as a group or it's separate, whatever it is, if it's a good story, I'm in.
yeah. Just
And
tell me a cool Batgirl story. Tell me a cool Blue
yeah,
Beetle story. Tell me a
that's all.
cool Black Adam story. And like,
Yeah.
sure, they're all in the same universe, but like, we don't necessarily need to see these things connect.
I think DC will be at its best if they honestly don't connect this shit. Like they can have some
they're connected.
crossovers, but
Like
like
they're connected, but like they don't have to connect to each other.
it doesn't need to be like the MCU. Like if
Right.
you don't need to do what they're doing
Yeah.
because that might not work for you, and that's okay. Like it doesn't need to be the same. You're better off doing your own thing anyway. Otherwise, like why do you want to copy someone else? That doesn't make you unique. Doesn't make you different. Because Marvel, they're cool, but they aren't doing anything outside of their own universe. That's something that DC is willing to do with like Joker and the Batman and other films that are probably going to be coming.
Ah,
So
that's the thing. That's the key.
that's
I
what
don't
I'm
know why I
saying.
still have that.
Like do those Elseworlds films have a lot of creative freedom on them, and you're going to get a lot of variety that. Not to say the MCU doesn't have variety, but not in that sense. They can't do what they could do what DC is doing, but they're never going to. They're
Yeah,
not.
they could do it. Like they could, in a way. I think the only way that they do something like that is by making a deal with like Sony to do Toby Spider
Yes,
Man
like
or
that's
Andrew
the
Spider Man.
only way I can see anything like that happening
Because in a
ever.
roundabout way, that connected to the MCU because of No Way
Yes.
Home. So like, it's not. They wouldn't just like randomly say, "Hey, we're gonna do a Wolverine movie set in
Yeah.
another
Like
universe."
they would
Like
never do that.
it's just like no, everything is connected, and that's their thing. That's fine. But like you said, we have Batman, we have Keaton Batman in the DCEU, but we're also getting on a completely other Earth, Pattinson Batman,
Which is
and
awesome.
and
Yeah.
like let that's the strength they have. Like you can have it's literally like one of their most famous events is Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Uh-huh.
You got Infinite Earths, so like
Yep.
use the Infinite Earths. So
Exactly. I'm totally with you. And in the case of Marvel, I think the only way also they end up doing that maybe is I could see them maybe going off with some Disney Plus shows and doing some stories in the multiverse maybe. I could see that happening. I don't think they ever do anything on the big screen like that, but maybe in a show I can at least see it. I'm not going to say for sure, but I can see it.
mm,
But either way, though, I think that both MCU and DCEU are very different. They both have their merits. They both have their strengths. Obviously, the MCU has the longevity that DC doesn't. They've been going longer, and they have a stronger connected universe. But DC has an opportunity to grow in their own way, and I'm hoping they do, man, because they have a lot of awesome characters, a lot of cool stories they can tell, and just looking at their last like 4 or 5 movies, I've liked most of them outside of, for me, Birds of Prey I didn't really like, but the rest I was into. I love Suicide Squad. I love Shazam. I love Aquaman. Those are movies I all really, really liked. And I won't count Snyder Cut just because that's really an older movie that was released in a new cut now. But I did love Snyder Cut though. But
yeah, for sure. I mean, they're improving the batting average, if that makes sense.
no,
So
they definitely are. They
so
definitely are.
so I mean, they're it's gonna be okay. Like I think I don't know. I mean, it's just they're heading in their own direction, and I respect it. And some movies are gonna be great. Some movies may not be so great. But I think like there's less of a strict stingy plan to it. Like
And
every
that's what, yeah, you're right.
and I like that. I like the fact that they're just like there's no like the directors of Batgirl aren't really answering to anyone. Like
And
they're like
that's what I was gonna say, man. That's what's so interesting about DC and Warner Brothers. Like that plays as both a strength and a weakness at times, and the same could be said for Marvel. Like, and Marvel, you know for a fact, you're probably never gonna have a true flop. Like you're pretty much never gonna have a 100% flop because you have Kevin Feige overseeing every project. He has his creative input on it, which is great because he's so fucking good at what he does. Where I basically don't care that he has creative input. Like I couldn't care less, but obviously, with that though, you also have consistently one vision across the board. Versus at DC, while you do have someone like that in a sense with Walter Hamada, it's not nearly as prominent as someone like Kevin Feige, and you have a lot more variety in the stories being told, as well as the style they're being told in, and more than anything, just you're getting, I can't think of the right word, but you're not going to have, oh, here, this is what I'm saying. With Walter Hamada, he's not going to be the kind of guy like Feige where he's going to fix projects from being what they are and
Yeah,
saving them from potentially being controversial or quote unquote bad, he's gonna
he's
let them
more
happen.
he's more of like he's not as hands on.
No,
That's the word. Like
and that's why you get some of those flops like Suicide Squad or Batman v Superman, like those movies. Like Foggy, if let's say Foggy was at DC, would that have happened? No, and
yeah,
that's not me saying necessarily Foggy's a perfect, at everything he does. Although I think he's amazing, it just means that he is hands on and will make adjustments as he sees necessary because that's the way he is.
yeah. I mean, like he just kind of has an eye for like
Yeah,
making sure a movie, even if it's not going to be on the upper tier of MCU, like he's got a good grip on making films competent.
I mean, with
And
Thor: The Dark World, dude, like just reading about his process on that movie, like he put in so much work, and he was saying how like by the end of that movie, even though people didn't really like it much, he's actually proud of how it came out in the end, considering where it was previously.
it was probably just like a complete shit show for.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Uh, I'm inserting gum right now.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what that was. That was loud as fuck.
I was just like, I was trying to do it secretly, but like, it just started making more. I probably should have just, I should have just done it and then got it over with. And instead, I kind of had it long and drawn out, but whatever. But like you were saying, Dark World. I didn't read up on Dark World.
Like they had crazy long meetings, like trying to figure out, like, okay, how do we fix this? And they had like crazy long reshoots trying to fix everything, and they adjusted a lot of elements of the story. And what again, it obviously was not what they wanted, but it was again, Feige made it clear like it could have been a lot worse than it was. Like we had to really try saving that project to even get it to be semi-competent in the end, which sucked. And it's because they like changed directors, they changed writers. There were so many different changes in writers and cooks in the room in the kitchen there. Like you had a lot of different shit going on for this movie, and it's like if this was DC, it would have just been left as it was. For example, there wouldn't have been any shifting. It just would have been this is the movie. That's it. Bye.
That's
So
funny. So like,
yeah.
so like, is there anything specific about Dark World that was like when you were reading up on it that was like, huh?
I'm trying. I have to look back. There was that book was so expansive, dude. I read about so much shit. Like it was like the best read of my life, honestly. But I definitely recommend it to anybody. The Story of Marvel Studios book. But holy shit, like that movie in particular, like they didn't really talk about doing expansive reshoots in most of these. Like outside of like just to enhance a movie versus like to save a movie. Even
No,
Captain
there's a
Marvel.
difference.
Yeah, there's a big difference. Cause,
There's a difference
yeah,
between doing reshoots to just like add in some stuff to help out your
yeah,
movie versus like our movie fucking sucks right
yeah.
now.
Like we gotta.
And like the
We gotta
only
save
way
this
this
shit.
thing can be competent is by just basically reshooting the entire movie.
Wait, I'm literally gonna grab the book as we keep talking because I literally want to find the Thor: The Dark World segment right now. But I'll
You
keep
do that.
talking. But I'm gonna multitask here. All right, keep talking. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Oh, hello everyone. See, this was my ultimate goal, anyways, was to just make this show my own and kick Luke out when he wasn't looking. And so this is exactly what I'm doing. Oh no, he's back.
All right, how's it going?
I may have just secretly revealed my evil master plan for this podcast, but you
Oh
know,
wow. Okay.
yeah. But
Wow.
yes, Thor: The Dark World was a mess
Yeah.
originally, and then he turned it from a mess into a bore, and we
Yes,
respect that.
there is a big difference, man. Of like for example, Justice League, the original, that's a mess. Or Suicide Squad, that's a mess.
The theatrical cut of BBS is a mess as well. I'm just gonna say
Original or Ultimate?
the theatrical cut. So that was the
Okay,
original.
yes, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marvel hasn't had a true mess yet. they've had a bore. They've had a couple bores. Not a mess.
Yeah, I think overall, I mean,
I would say the only bores for me are still Dark World and Captain Marvel. Those are my only bores.
Incredible Hulk is kind of slow as well.
I haven't seen it in so long that I honestly can't even form an opinion on it right now. But I will. I've been meaning to rewatch it forever. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, their worst movies are still competent movies, and we respect.
Oh
that.
yeah, no, absolutely. I don't
Because
think
like
they've ever had a horrible movie.
you go to DC and you go to Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad, and it's like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
Ah, I found the Dark World section. Let's see.
Victory.
This is exciting. Ba, ba, ba. All right. I see Thor. I'm trying to find the chapter that's there. Let's see. Ooh, these are some cool pictures though. I see Malekith, the villain that no one cares about.
Who's that? No.
That was actually probably the worst villain I think they've had to this point. Right? Like maybe again, even Captain Marvel too. Horrible villain. Both of who even was the
Who was the Captain Marvel villain?
wasn't it the vision of the lady thing at the end? I can barely comprehend that movie right now too. It's so bad for me. I just can't enjoy it. I can't enjoy that movie.
Bro, I don't remember that movie. I was like,
I remember the first act of that movie, but like most of the second act is like a blur, dude.
I remember bits and parts.
The only redeeming part of that movie for me was honestly Nick Fury. Like
It's
seeing
just like
he was cool.
I like all of the actors involved, but like there's no personality to
No,
it.
not at all.
There's
Not
like
at all.
it felt like a studio mandated movie in a way.
It really did.
It felt soulless. It felt like when you think of all of the criticisms that Marvel Studios can get, it felt like Captain Marvel is like the epitome of like that is like fuel to the fire for the people that like to complain about Marvel Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No, you're right. I mean, God, we're like going into a whole conversation on like the history of these flops right now, and it's kind of actually interesting. It's interesting to talk about this, but yeah, like the rest of the movies. I mean, I really don't think there's any more bad movies, right? Am I forgetting any?
If only there was an app to create such a list.
Oh yeah, I made my list already actually.
Oh shit. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Do I just don't follow you then?
My account's secret.
Oh, damn. Son of a gun.
Do we have my list is let me see. Yeah, I haven't looked at it in probably a while because I change my mind kind of constantly, gonna be honest, but I got a fairly solid list here. Fairly solid. Maybe some controversial picks on here, not really sure, but you know. Yeah, Captain Marvel's at the bottom of my list.
I put Thor 2 last, and then Hulk is second to last, and then Captain Marvel's third to last.
Yeah, I got Incredible Hulk third. We have the same bottom three, just different order. And honestly, they're kind of interchangeable.
They kind of just mix together. Like
yeah,
like you know, I was like, yep.
And then right behind that, I have Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think I do too as well.
But although I will say I don't think Ant-Man and the Wasp is on the same level as those. It's just like it's the next worst one.
I actually have Iron Man 2 before.
That's my next one too. So we're pretty close there. We are pretty close there.
Yeah. I don't even hate Iron Man 2.
No,
it's just like
no, me neither.
It's just like it's the least decent of them, so whatever. But yeah. Is there anything else on said subject?
I don't think so. We can move on as I multitask here to find that Dark World part, but I guess another topic I want to go into with Marvel, we got a couple reports. We already talked about the one on Black Panther with they resumed production. Lila Wright's back. She got the vaccine. Yeah, Lila Wright got the vaccine, but there's an interesting report on Doctor Doom actually.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, who actually could have a very brief appearance in the movie. Or at the very least be mentioned. We're not really sure, but the reports coming from Bleeding Cool, they mostly report on comics, but on occasion they will report on Marvel Productions. Very rarely, but they have, and they were right the one time they did, so it's at least worth talking about. And apparently they have a suit being made for Doctor Doom at this time. Might even be made. I don't know. And the article literally says like, it'd be a shame not to use it. And like, so,
they're not making that suit if they don't have an actor.
I am so curious to know who they might pick to play Doctor Doom, man, because that's such a big casting for me. Like that's really
Ben
big.
Affleck is Doctor Doom.
You see, I would just enjoy just to see DC fans kind of, or not the fans, the cultists kind of crumble.
Henry Cavill is Doctor Doom. That would send those DC. That would be Walter Hamada would just like have to hide, go into like witness protection for a few years after that. Michael Keaton is Doctor Doom. No.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is such a big character, man. I mean, he's probably one of the next big bads that they're going to introduce. Right now, the only one for this phase is Kang, really.
Dude, it's fucking Doctor Doom.
Oh, I know.
It's
like right now,
come on now.
Like right now, we're pretty much just rocking with Kang the Conqueror. That's kind of our guy. And although we will have Kingpin for like street level, and we'll probably have Val, who's being set up as kind of that kind of presence as well, but we haven't gotten too much on that front yet.
Sure, Kingpin's the dude. No, nobody else on the street level. Just Kingpin.
Oh yeah.
No.
And like, as for other people that might continue on as kind of a overarching villain, I think we'll definitely MODOK. MODOK will be one of those as well. Fin Fang Foom, I've heard we're still getting, so that'll be a thing. So yeah, those are probably the bigger ones that are still coming, including Doctor Doom. So that'll be cool. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll even finally get Mephisto one day.
You ever think about how like Fox had all of the cool Marvel characters for a while?
Yes.
Like, I mean, all of the cool villains. Because think about it, like Loki's cool, right? In Phase 1, they had to use Ironmonger, right? Red Skull's cool. Red Skull's is the most iconic Captain America villain. But, like, they didn't have anyone besides, like, Thanos and Kang that were, like fucking Fox had Galactus. They had Doctor Doom. They had Magneto, right? They had Kingpin as well, because Daredevil was owned by...
They had a lot, dude.
It's like... Bro, you sold off all of your characters, all of those great characters. But it's kind of cool that we're getting them now. And like it gave those first few years of Marvel Studios gave those characters that might not have been as popular more time to shine. Like Loki became like a household name because Tom Hiddleston just kind of became the stud of the year, started dating Taylor Swift as well around the time as well.
Oh yeah.
So, there it is. So, but now, they got Kang coming. They also made the deal to acquire Fox. So now they've got Galactus, Doctor Doom, Magneto, all of the X-Men characters. So,
and that's the whole crazy thing too. There's so much they have to introduce that they haven't even remotely scrapped yet. Like, they haven't even touched mutants. They haven't even gotten to Fantastic Four yet. Like, there's so many elements that they can literally carry on for so much longer with that because of how much they haven't touched. I mean, Jesus, mutants are probably not even going to come till, 2024 at best? Like, that's best case scenario right now. That is best case scenario because for 2023, you already have Guardians, you have Ant-Man 3, you have Deadpool 3, you have Captain America 4, and Blade. One of those is probably even going to go into 2024. So, right now, they're so booked, that could even get pushed to 2025 with mutants, honestly.
I'm thinking right now. Like, maybe in a show? I don't know.
Like, they can maybe have... It depends how they decide to introduce mutants, because that's the one thing I'm really uncertain on. Like, is it going to be a scenario where mutants are, like, they're created at this point in time, or have they been around? That's the one thing that hasn't really been established at all. Because if you know, I don't know, if they've been around, it creates a lot of questions. I'll say that. I I really don't know, man. I really don't know what they're gonna do with mutants. I'm very, very much in the dark on that front.
I agree. Fantastic Four is coming much quicker than mutants are. Like,
Yes,
Feige has mentioned mutants multiple times. He's like, they're coming.
but yeah, they're coming.
But
you got to keep
Still-
in mind, like
we're still waiting.
Feige probably has the next like 6 to 7 years mapped out because he's Kevin Feige. So like when he says like when he says mutants are coming, that just means they're currently in my plans for this giant arc that will extend for the next decade. That's what that means. It doesn't mean they're coming soon. There's a big difference.
Like, bro, I understand though why he decided to do Fantastic Four first, because that's like the franchise that needs to get saved immediately. Like they have to wash out the bad taste that was 2015 Fantastic Four. Like they have to wash that out completely. These guys are cool, we swear. Like these characters are cool.
Yes.
Okay? So what Josh Trank did, those
I mean, I'll say this, like people say what you want about John Krasinski, but if he ended up being the MCU Fantastic Four, that would be huge for getting people to come in that are more casuals. Because the people that complain about it, like let's be honest, Twitter is the minority really. They're not the majority of Marvel fans. They're just the more vocal sector of fans that read the comics and they're a lot more serious about like this needs to be this way, this needs to be that way. But if you're talking about like the general public, if they see John Krasinski's in a Fantastic Four movie, they're all gonna go fucking see it. Like they are. So like that's the one thing that makes me think that that's a casting that's actually gonna stick, because like that's such a big name to have in that role, dude. Like he's like, say what you want, like The Office was one of the most popular shows of all time. Like having Jim from The Office play Reed Richards is a big deal. It is. It really is.
You're not wrong. I mean, it makes sense. Honestly.
Like that's why I just don't. I'd be very surprised if that's not if that's just a cameo, because like even if they cast a nobody, because Marvel does good with making their nobodies into like big name actors, but like
if you're a Chris Evans guy,
yeah, but like if I'm a casual fan and I see John Krasinski was cast as Reed Richards, and then I find out they cast Joe Schmo to play him in Fantastic Four, I'm gonna be pretty upset, honestly. Like I'd be kind of upset about that personally if I was a casual.
That's fair. I mean, it seems likely.
To me, it would have been smarter if you're gonna do something. Like it would have been okay if they had like a random actor play Reed Richards in Fantastic Four, and then they had like Krasinski do that. And then at that point, it's like, okay, well we already have our actor established. We're just doing a fun fan cast multiverse cameo kind of thing.
Yeah.
Versus the other way around, where it's like now we're not quite sure. So if I'm Marvel, they gotta, or at least somebody's gotta clear that up at some point, because that could lead to some controversy, I think. But that's just kind of how I feel.
I agree. I mean,
yeah.
I'm so excited that we're getting Fantastic Four soon.
Oh yeah.
Like it just needed to happen, especially just because Fox butchered them.
Yeah.
And butchered them. So
but honestly, it might not even, if I had to guess right now, that might be a 2024 movie, honestly.
Well, let's think of it this way, right? So you're probably getting Blade late next year.
I would say that's probably a fall movie right around October, November.
They should drop that around Halloween.
Dude, if that dropped on Halloween for my birthday, I'd actually shit.
That'd be so cool because like the mood, the kind of vibe that it gives off is like, yeah, that's a holiday.
I'm looking ahead at the calendar. Damn it, the 31st is on a freaking Monday, so that's not gonna happen. But you can do it like right before that
Like
though.
the 27th,
Yeah, like around there. Yeah, 27th. Like that would
27th.
be awesome. And like so you have that. Let's say at the end of the year. I think Ant-Man is around February or March. So you have that. Guardians 3 is definitely a 2023 release. That we know for
Yep.
sure. That's probably going to be summer.
They're filming
And
that right now, right?
yeah, they're currently filming
Yeah.
that. So you have those three set. And I guess the wild card is going to be which starts production first, Fantastic Four or Deadpool?
I think
Because
Deadpool probably gets pushed to 2024. I
it
think.
might, although they already have started writing the scripts for Deadpool. They have. I don't even think they started the script for Fantastic Four yet, so I don't really know.
Or do we just not know that they've been writing a script this entire
I mean,
time?
you never know. Either way, it'll be one of those other movies coming out that year, and the other one will get pushed to 2024 probably. If I had to guess.
Yeah. So like they said, because obviously, I forgot to report it. I think it was like Variety. They said that John Watts' next directorial
Yes.
project is probably gonna be
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. So like, really, it's like we just don't know how far along in production they are on this.
We really don't. I mean, we'll see. I'll say this: we have a lot of. I'm trying to think. That would have to film probably. Obviously, it'd have to start filming this year at some point. Like
Yeah.
that's for sure. That's for sure. I would probably be late in the year if it does. And speaking of which, we found out the production dates for Blade were I have them here. What are they? It's August 2022 to December 2022. So that's a movie that'll be ready, obviously for 2023. Like that's set.
That's
That's
not. That
that's set.
shouldn't be a giant, huge CGI
No.
thing as well. So
No, if they wanted to, they could release it before fall. I just think they're gonna wait to fall. But
I would wait to fall. Just fucking
no, me
release it
too.
around Halloween, man. Like, come on, that's.
No, that's some
I
awesome
think
shit
they
right
have.
there.
I think they have a date set in October.
I think they do too. So I would guess that's what's gonna take that date.
Imagine going to see Blade on fucking Halloween. It's like
that would be so cool, dude.
uh
And I've heard Dracula's gonna be the villain, so like that could be
I
exciting.
mean, come on.
That could be
Come on.
pretty cool.
Like, come on. Come on. You're going to see that movie.
No, that's a movie. That's probably one of my most anticipated, honestly. I love Blade, dude. I love the whole gothic side of the MCU. I'm very excited. But
Street level and supernatural shit. That's my
yep,
jam.
that is my jam too. And trying to think, what other Marvel news do we have in general? We have well, we found out the son of Obadiah Stane is going to be the villain in Ironheart, probably. I think is Zeke or Ezekiel
Yeah,
or
Ezekiel.
yeah. So that's going to be one of the villains for Ironheart, which is cool. It's cool. That's cool to connect back to Iron Man 1. I like when we do that.
Riri
Very
Williams
cool.
built this in a cave.
The box of scraps.
They're gonna do a callback to that.
Also, I got a Thor: The Dark World thing. I remember some of this. So originally in production, this is actually one of the rare cases of studio interference, actually, from Marvel, where the upper people, because Feige always had power, but he wasn't necessarily like he can do anything he wants at this point.
Back at the time they had like a committee.
Exactly. And at that point, they didn't want a female to be the villain because they were going to do Hela for Dark World, but the committee said no. Female villains don't sell as well, so we're not doing that. And then they forced in Malekith to be the villain, which is one of the many issues on production. They didn't want to do Malekith; they were forced to do it. So yeah, that was a thing.
I mean, because you got to remember that before, I forgot what year that Feige broke away from them. It was around 2016, 2017, I think it was. So, like, everything before that, for, like, the first, like, 6 or 7 years of the MCU, Feige had bosses that he had to answer to.
Yep.
And, like, even after he made them billions upon billions of dollars with, like, Avengers 1 and Avengers 2,
I mean, like,
They
Yeah,
still didn't trust him.
he had pushback up until really Civil War. Actually, like Civil War, there was
That
pushback
was
too.
like his
Actually,
breaking point. He hit
yeah,
like a
yeah,
breaking point. He was basically like, I remember this. He was like, I'm gonna quit if you guys just don't let me. Like he went up to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the ultimate boss. He's like, bro, I have made you billions of
Yeah, like,
dollars.
but we're doing this.
Like we're either doing this or I'm gone. And then I think the boss said, okay, from now on you answer to me. I'm your dude. You're in charge. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they like just a baller movie is like, and like I think overall, I think Marvel has been better for it for sure because and also during that creative committee time they did create some awesome stuff like Daredevil and all of that. But what Feige did is like, even though like he wasn't involved in that show, look what he just did.
Oh,
Like
yeah, exactly.
so it's like he does it. Like I just think Marvel's better for it because you don't have people with agendas. Like it's just a much healthier kind of place now.
No, absolutely. It's much better than it was because with Civil War, there was a lot of arguments about like fans are not going to accept the heroes fighting each other. Like they were like that, they're not going to like that. It's going to be a mess. It's not going to sell well. We can't do it. And Feige was like, "No, we got to do it. Like this is going to be
Feige
awesome.
is like, fuck you, mean man.
Like this is awesome. Like what do
this
you
is
mean?"
awesome. Are you kidding me? Like they just announced the Batman versus Superman movie.
Yeah.
Like people seem pretty excited for that because remember that those two movies were supposed to come out on the same day.
My
I don't know if you remember that.
The thing is, back when that happened, I wasn't quite as into comic books yet. I was still kind of
Dude,
tiptoeing around that.
the
Yeah.
original release date they were supposed to drop on the same day.
God, that would have been so fucking bad.
I would have been like, I work at a movie. Can you imagine that for me?
Yeah, that would be actually nuts.
That would be like, I might as well just quit. Like, you better give me holiday pay for this one, man. Because like, fuck.
Like, and I keep forgetting too with Dark World. I keep forgetting Patty Jenkins was supposed to direct.
Yeah, she was.
So that was another case of where you had creative visions changing midway through the movie.
Yeah. So, and she never got to direct another comic book movie either, which was very sad.
No comment.
No comment. No. Wonder Woman 1 was very good. Very good.
As for 84, I will not comment.
My opinion on that kind of dipped. I watched that again recently.
I never really thought it was good minus Pedro Pascal.
I just like Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, literally Pedro Pascal.
I just wanted to give him a lot of love and give him a lot of the benefit of the doubt, and he did great. But like,
and she also got dropped from Rogue Squadron, but
she did.
Yeah, no, yeah, the whole project pretty much got canned.
Wow. What? Star Wars is
There's such a mess on the movie side, dude. It's such a mess.
Star Wars is interesting.
They nail their shows. They're great on the show side. I don't know why honestly why don't they have Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau also run the movie side of things? Because they can handle it. I know they can handle it. Why not just have them be the Kevin Feige of everything? Like, why not?
Like, I don't want to be like one of those like there's like this incredibly toxic Star Wars fandom.
I know.
YouTube. Oh, like it's like the Snyder cult on like steroids, and I definitely want no association with those people because those people are just like terrible people. Like they want Kathleen Kennedy, who runs the film. She runs everything. She's one.
Yes, and I think she's horrible. I think she's horrible, but like. I'm not a monster.
She's done a lot of good things, honestly, but
the entire sequel trilogy.
But the sequel trilogy was farcical.
It's a giant shit.
Well, like what happened was, Force Awakens came out, right, and it asked a lot of questions. Like it set up so much for the sequels to answer. But the problem is when you do a movie like that, you have to at least have some idea of where you're going. But when you're hiring, like J.J. Abrams only was going to do the first one.
And that's where the problems come in.
And so, and Rian Johnson comes in and he wants to do his own movie. And I completely respect that. Whether you like Last Jedi or not, he made the movie that he wanted to make. But there was such a backlash to that. And like a lot of that movie is him subverting what the answers to those questions were going to be. And then Colin Trevorrow was supposed to do the third one, the one to end it all. And it's just like we really needed this to be a little more planned out. Like certain questions we needed to know the answers to right away. Just because
Hmm.
it's just like you want to allow as much creative freedom for the directors as possible if you're going to do 3 directors for
Yeah,
each
yeah.
movie. But at the same time, there has to be a plan. There was no plan.
Well, I mean, there's so many things I can pick at that just didn't. I mean, let's be honest. Even though I enjoy Force Awakens, that movie is literally a copy and paste of New Hope.
It's a fun kind of reintroduction
It's the same
with
thing.
with
It's the
new.
it's the same thing.
It's a fun like what I'm trying to say is like it reintroduces the universe by hitting on the similar beats, yada yada yada, having some fun, right? It's a fun movie. It works very well and it sets up a lot of questions. But the thing is like I think Last Jedi did a decent enough job. Like I don't have a strong opinion either way on Last Jedi, but like I just feel terrible for Ryan Johnson because like he got like death threats over that, and I just don't
Yeah,
respect
yeah.
that. It's like it's Star Wars, come on. But like
I mean, Jesus. Even Mark Hamill said his character made no sense. Like Mark Hamill said himself, like the way they wrote my character, like Luke would not be like this. This is just wrong. This is wrong. So
yeah, but
like
like
that's a problem. It's a major problem.
out of context, it's I think basically what he meant was like the Luke that he played in the '80s, the '70s, and the '80s was this kind of heroic kind of guy, and like you're seeing him on at his lowest point, and so the decisions that he makes on the at his lowest point are different than the ones that he would generally make if he were in a better state of mind. But
But I think it was honestly more of this writing didn't make sense for my own character, and I think
I
that's how
haven't
he
seen it.
felt.
I
I
haven't
think that's
seen
how he feels.
I haven't seen the movie in a while, so I prefer not to answer. But like, it is what it is. I really, really hate Rise of Skywalker.
I that was sad thing is that is the first Star Wars movie I have seen in theaters.
I hate that movie.
And I will say it's a movie that made no sense. I enjoyed it literally only because at the time it was my first movie in theater seeing Star Wars. I was like, oh, this is pretty. But I'm like actually analyzing it. No, it's dog shit. I mean, Jesus Christ, bringing Palpatine back, like what the fuck?
Somehow Palpatine has returned. It's because what happened was I think they wanted Snoke to be the bad guy, and then Ryan
And
Johnson killed him
yeah,
off.
it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why?
There's no plan. There's no plan. I really do. I do like the fact that they brought back like Hayden Christensen to do like a little voice and like all that. But like that was cool. But like, was it worth it? Was it worth it for the shitty movie that we got? Because like that movie sucks. Let's be honest here. Like, there's nothing. There's nothing in there that like. It felt like my last comment. It's a react. That movie was a complete reaction to the Last Jedi reaction,
Mhm.
and like in the worst ways.
Yeah, yeah.
It was giving into the fans, the toxic side of the fans, and you know it was a trash movie from and like the actual Colin Trevorrow concept arts. Oh
Yes.
man, that movie could have been cool. That movie could have been really cool, and they
It,
just
it,
didn't
it's
let
it's
him.
it's a shame, man. It really is. But
Let,
I didn't think we were getting the Star Wars talk. I did not. I did not.
bro, like I'm not like this huge Star Wars fan, but
No,
like
me neither. Me neither.
if you get me talking about it though,
No,
like
no, me too. Me too.
I actually do like it. So
Oh, of course. Yeah.
fuck,
Um.
come on. It's just such a it's just a shame when like you like these characters and you like these IPs and like opportunities are missed.
Yes. You're right.
And like that one is like a glaring example of like fuck. We started strong and we whiffed. We whiffed and we whiffed. At least like I guess like I haven't seen Rogue One, but at least we got that cool scene with the Darth Vader going nuts at the end.
Yes. Yes.
I do. I have seen that scene. And Solo, from all accounts, is a pretty decent movie. But like, they haven't made a
I
movie.
mean, Solo. I always say this, and my friend said this too. I agree. It's a good movie. It's not a good Star Wars movie.
Mm,
I think there's a difference,
sound like High Top right there.
but it's true. It's true.
So like I'm just wait. Like as you can see, I'm playing with a pretend lightsaber right now because like
Yes,
you've gotten me into this. It's like they have yet to make like Mandalorian is by far the best thing they've done so far,
I agree. I agree.
but they have yet to make a Star Wars movie that is bona fide. Oh my god! Like
Well,
we're
guess
waiting.
what? Guess
We're
what,
waiting.
Tom?
What?
Kevin Feige is going to give us that W.
I think he will. Like
He
he loves Star
probably
Wars.
will. I mean, like, come on. Kevin Feige making a Star Wars movie, that's not going to end poorly. I guarantee you it's at least good. At least good.
You ever think about how Lord and Miller were gonna do The Flash, and they were also gonna do Solo,
I do.
and
I
then
do, actually.
they just ended up producing Spider Verse, and it's like fucking guys, like you should have trusted those guys because they made the Jump Street movies and shit. They're just those two guys are geniuses. I'd let them fucking make a fucking Happy Meal movie.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. They probably turn that shit into a masterpiece about about like proper food hygiene. I guess I don't give
Wow.
a fuck. Well, whatever. Back to comic books.
Right. There's a lot we could talk about, but trying to think. What should we talk about?
Oh God. Uh, as you know, I rarely
Yeah, we don't
have
even we don't
thoughts.
need to go. We don't have to hit on everything here. We'll talk about only what we want to talk about now.
There is
But
something I want. There is something I do want to talk about.
then talk about it. It's what we're
Uh,
here for.
apparently, in this picture, I'm going to send this to you.
Okay.
So Moon Knight got a little teaser for the teaser trailer.
Yes, I
And
saw this.
yes, is that Werewolf by Night that Moon Knight is beating up?
It certainly could be in this picture. I mean, and I think that would be really. I mean, yeah. Look at the top of it right there. That looks like it's an animal almost. Like I think that's probably Werewolf by Night.
But
But
I think the dude's wearing shoes though.
where are these shoes?
I see
Look at the
shoes
shape.
like, but
No,
the
no, no.
leg,
Those aren't
the
shoes. Look at
leg,
the way it's curved. Look at the way it's curving. That's like a weird werewolf curve to the foot. You see that? Look how far they extend.
bro. We're serious. We're seriously getting Moon Knight versus a fucking werewolf? Come on now.
Again, this show is going to be the best thing Marvel does, except maybe Doctor Strange next year. I bet. Moon Knight is going to be so fucking good.
So good,
Oh,
so good. Oh, fucking, that's awesome.
man, and we're getting the Werewolf by Night show too, and what's it called? That's going to be really sick, and we found out we got casting for that. It was
Laura Donnelly.
Laura, yeah, and she's playing supposedly Vampire by Night.
So we got werewolves, we got vampires,
Like, come on.
and we got Moon Knight.
And we have
So,
we have a bunch of Egyptian gods, including Sun King, played by Ethan Hawke. So,
and also, apparently George Clooney may have directed an episode.
so yeah, this show it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good.
Ooh,
I might shit myself on Monday when I see the trailer.
yeah, I'm going through our little plans, our little list of items. MCU Ghost Rider may have been cast because remember about a week or two ago there were kind of rumblings. I remember Norman Reedus was like in tweets.
I'll say this: Norman Reedus is a great dude. He's really cool, and I'd be very happy for him if he got that role. I would definitely not object at all.
I would like to announce that I am playing Moon Knight. I mean, I'm playing Ghost Rider
Wow,
in Marvel Studios Ghost Rider. There we
that's
go.
huge. That's huge.
It's big for the podcast. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Anything else on the street level Marvel? Vincent D'Onofrio talked a little bit. He's like, he basically said that they were hurt by the cancellation of Daredevil, but like because of Disney Plus coming out, Marvel canned it, and they kind of understood the business side. But then they got their jobs back, I guess. Well,
Yeah.
the crew really didn't. but like the cast did.
I mean, hey, even some of the writers might be coming back. I mean, some of them already are for Echo,
Yeah,
so
and
that's
also
that's a really great decision, dude. You have no idea how much that excites the hell out of me. Like those writers do no wrong. They need to come back for most of these street level projects, honestly. Like bring them back, please.
yeah, and so he also said that like Robert Downey Jr.'s performance in Iron Man was like a big inspiration for him wanting to join the superhero universe landscape, and also he was like with Hugh Jackman,
Yeah, with Hugh Jackman, yes.
so that's funny, and also he considers Fisk to be the same as the Netflix version. So there we
Which
go.
was, I mean, come on. People are like, just because he says it doesn't mean anything. I'm like, it kind of does.
I
like,
mean,
like, I'm pretty sure unless Kevin Feige directly says it, people just aren't going to trust it. But like, I would say again, I think it's a case where Feige's never going to admit it because he probably can't even admit it legally. I think, and
I
he
don't
doesn't
think
want.
legally you can. Like, it's
That's what I'm
kind of
saying.
weird.
So I think it's kind of a case where you have D'Onofrio saying, "I'm playing the character as if it's continuing from where we left off." But you're not going to have Feige come out saying, "Yes, we're continuing where we left off on this show that's produced by another company." Like,
I
no,
think
that's not happening.
I
Probably.
think what they're doing is they are continuing pretty much exactly where they think it would leave off, right? And like if you watch those shows in order, it kind of gives you it kind of works. But at the same time, they will never officially admit it, and that's fine.
Oh
That's
yeah.
fine. Daredevil's back, baby. Yeah, that's
Woo!
awesome. And so I think another thing I want to hit on,
Yes.
because I just talked about Ghost Rider, Nick Cage, maybe in Doctor Strange 2, and we
You know,
forgot.
it'd be really weird if he wasn't in Doctor Strange too, because like he's literally accepting any role, like literally any role. So you're telling me Marvel wouldn't just throw a small bag of cash at him and say, "Hey, come here for like 5 minutes," and he just does it? Like it'd be really surprising if he's not there. Honestly, I'd be very
Yeah,
surprised.
he's definitely in
Like
it.
the
Come on.
only way in my mind he's not in it is if they say we only want to do one Ghost Rider and we're introducing our MCU Ghost Rider. Otherwise, he's got to be in it, I think. But we'll see. I
Yeah,
definitely think there is a Ghost Rider in Doctor Strange too. Like, definitely. Like I'd be shocked if there isn't.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think also into the Spider Verse producers, we just talked about them, Lord and Melly. They talked about Across the Spider Verse, and they said that they don't know if Tom Holland and Zendaya are popping up in there.
Yes, they are, or at least Tom Holland will. I mean, all three Spideys are gonna be in the next Spider Verse movie. Guarantee it. Bet it right now. Hell, they could even be a post-credit scene for the next one. Who knows? I wouldn't be shocked.
Yes, and all of the universes will have their distinct styles. Like,
That's awesome.
so
That's
that's pretty
awesome.
dope. Because
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't want it all. Like, it would be very weird if the Spider Verse movie, all of the universes looked the same. That would just be really, really kind of. It'd be kind of a missed opportunity. In all
I agree.
honesty, be like, I mean, cool, but like, I wish there was more personality to the universe. But like now, fuck yeah. Uh, Also, Morbius got delayed. I wanted to bring that up because, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
rest in peace to Morbius.
But
So, when was the original release date for that?
I think it was end of January.
No, 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 but the
What?
original,
Oh, like
original.
original.
I think it was like July 31st,
Oh God.
2020.
I don't even fucking know, man. That's like, whew, that's a long way back.
They filmed that movie. So they must have filmed that movie back in like 2019.
2019. Yeah.
They're still doing reshoots on that shit these days.
Yeah.
Jesus. What did they do in that movie? Yeah. But yeah. Do you have any thoughts on Morbius, future Oscar-winning movie?
Only thoughts I'll give are I think it looks pretty good, and I'm actually excited that they're delaying it because I think it's because they're doing some more reshoots, and I think in the end, regardless of, I think this movie is gonna shed some light on what the Sony verse is. I think we're gonna get some clarity, and I think that's part of what these reshoots are for. And I wouldn't be shocked if they make it clear, like, this is Andrew Garfield's universe. I stand by it. I think that's the way to go. Like they're gonna use him again. Like let's make this very clear. They're gonna use Andrew Garfield again at some point. And if you're gonna use him, why not just make him part of the Sonyverse? To me, that's the clear and obvious thing to do. Because why the hell would Tom Holland face off with these Sonyverse characters again, or in general, if they're part of a different universe? Like, why would he be crossing back and forth? It makes no sense.
I'm so fucking confused right now.
I'm not really confused. It's just we don't have answers. That's all. And I think we're gonna get them after Morbius. I do. We'll see though. We'll see.
That movie raises so many questions.
I wouldn't be shocked if they changed that painting of murderer to Garfield still too. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Or the graffiti rather. Yeah.
I mean, just so you've got MCU Vulture, Raimi Spider-Man on the mural, the Raimi Daily Bugle logo, but the Amazing Spider-Man Oscorp logo.
The only thing that honestly confuses me is just Vulture, for me. And I think, like, some people have said it's probably a variant, but like in my head, I'm like, what is doing a variant of Vulture accomplish? What's the point of him being a variant? You're not getting anything out of that. Like, you're literally getting nothing out of that. Like, to me, if it's gonna be a case where you're gonna have Morbius appear somehow in that universe for a brief time in prison, and he's gonna be sent back at the end. It's gonna be something like that, because there's no other reason for him to be there. Like, name one possible reason. I can't think of it. I really can't. Again, I don't even want to talk about it because we have no answers. We literally don't have any answers right now.
What was the plan here?
Again, to me, it's obvious. They weren't planning to have the universes be separate until way later, but the movie was filmed already, and it was like, oh shit. Okay, well, I guess this is a thing now, but we already filmed Morbius. So now they have to try to fucking fix this shit, and they don't know how. To me, that is the obvious answer, and it's not really more complicated than that. Like, to me, if you're thinking beyond that, you're just overthinking it.
Am I overthinking it?
Yes. To me, it's simple. Sony was stupid. It's literally Sony was stupid. They changed their mind, and the movie was filmed already. I literally think it's as simple as that.
Fucking idiots.
Like, if it's anything other than that, I'd be very surprised. Because to me, that's the clear answer. That is just the clear answer. Whether or not they actually know how to fix it, we'll find out in April when the movie's released. Like, really. Also, I just want to say, Moon Knight dropping on March 30th breaks my heart because I'm so greedy where 3 months without Marvel content is kind of going to break me a little bit. I'm going to be honest. It's kind of going to break me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is like our first kind of extended break without Marvel.
Yeah, dude, this is hard. This is
gonna be hard. Because, like, you gotta remember, WandaVision came out, then, like, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Directly after.
And then I think Loki was right after.
What If was the only, like, kind of weird thing, because, like, What If was Marvel, but I didn't really get my Marvel fix during that time entirely. But it was still something, but it wasn't quite the same. But even so, you had Shang-Chi September.
Yeah.
Then you had November for Eternals.
Yeah,
and Hawkeye came out, and then you had Spider-Man. So, like, 2021 was flooded with Marvel content.
We were supposed to get Doctor Strange in 2 months.
Don't. You know what? Considering the cool shit they're adding in reshoots, I'm okay with it though. Because they're adding in some really awesome stuff. So I'm happy about it, actually. I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have gotten my Marvel fix if, like, Morbius actually came out.
Honestly, same. It would have at least, like, helped quite a bit. But, you know, it is what it is. But once we get to Moon Knight, I don't think we're gonna have any delay, like any big periods for the rest of the year without Marvel, because you have Moon Knight that's gonna be running probably through May 4th, and then right around there you're gonna have Doctor Strange, and then probably not too long after, maybe like a few weeks after, probably right after Obi-Wan finishes up, you're gonna have She-Hulk, and She-Hulk is gonna be like a 9-week show because that's the first show since WandaVision that's not 6 episodes. So that's gonna be
Oh
running.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's gonna be probably running for like 2 months.
because those episodes are gonna be like
Yeah,
sitcom length. They're gonna be like half an
exactly.
hour.
So that's probably gonna be running probably through Thor: Love and Thunder, and then you have Thor: Love and Thunder. You'll have, and when you get to August, or well, yeah, probably around August, you're gonna have Miss Marvel, and then at the end of the year, you're gonna have Black Panther in October, and then maybe you'll get one more show at the end. I don't know, but either way, you pretty much have that whole March through the end of 2022. You're gonna have consistent Marvel content. So once you get to March and Moon Knight, you're there. You made it. You're good. So that's kind of the big
Yeah,
thing. So
we're gonna
yeah,
hold
we're
strong.
we're gonna hold. Yeah,
We're almost in February, but I mean,
and hey, once we get to the beginning of March, we get the Batman. So even though it's not Marvel, that's gonna do more than
that
enough.
gets the superhero fix, and thankfully
Exactly.
Peacemaker is dropping these days, so we got something.
Peacemaker is different, but it's so fucking good. It is so good. Like, I'll be honest, just if I had to rank it like in comparison to like the Marvel shows, I have a feeling by the end of it, it's gonna be better than all of them except for Loki and maybe WandaVision for me.
That's fair.
Also, I will say I rewatched Hawkeye. I binged it, and I agree with let Levi on this actually. It is so much better when you binge it. So much better.
I should binge
Like
it.
like if you binge it, it's the pacing is so much better. Everything feels like so much, it flows significantly better versus like the week to week drops. That's a show you need to binge, I think. I would never tell someone watch that weekly because that just ruins the show in a lot of ways, I think.
I
Yeah.
agree,
And
because I like to binge
yeah.
shows more than like week to week. Like I just like having the option of just
That's something that Marvel, I've heard some people complain about this, how Marvel is doing longer movies versus a show, really. And they're not wrong. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think like when we get to a show like Daredevil, I'd be very disappointed if that was like a 6 episode, hour episode thing series. Like that would be a little disappointing.
here's what you do with Daredevil. You do
Yeah.
exactly what they did before, and you don't touch it. Don't touch it.
And
Just
look, I get why they do that because like if you look at a show like Loki, for example, if you spread that out over 10 plus episodes, you're gonna lose quality in each episode because that's the way it's gonna work with the budget. And I get that. And I get it. And I'll say that for shows like that, it worked. Like Loki, I thought was awesome.
you give
Like,
Daredevil all the budget.
but Daredevil, well, not even you don't even need a high budget for Daredevil. Like you can have it spread out over the same length as you've been doing it, like with Netflix, except you can give it a little bit of a higher budget because obviously Disney has more money, and you're gonna have the same shit, which everybody loved, but an even higher budget than before. So like, why not just do that?
Give them all the money, and let them cook. Let the
So yeah.
creatives cook. Let them cook.
Uh,
That's all I want.
is there anything else you want to talk about?
Let me check through this list, this great list that I have compiled. Now, Andrew Garfield talked a little bit. He is officially the werewolf. He admitted it as such. He said that he and Tobey Maguire snuck into a movie theater.
Yep.
Uh, like you said, they're casting the High Evolutionary for Guardians 3.
They got
I think they already got the guy.
They did. I can't think of his name. It's a weird name. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But
It's just a name I can't pronounce, and I feel
did
terrible.
that's why I can't think of it. But it's someone that was in Suicide Squad, I think, if I recall. So yeah, look it up quick. I can't think of the name.
I am looking it up because I feel bad.
Yeah, me too.
Uh,
Yes, it starts with a C.
shit. This is great podcasting. Guardians of the Galaxy.
I got it.
Fuck.
Chuck Woody. Chuck Woody. And the last name is it's spelled Iwuji. I'm not sure how I'm saying that. Gonna be honest.
He's a Nigerian British actor. He went to Yale University, which
Oh
is
wait, he's the guy from Peacemaker, isn't he?
uh uh yes he is.
Yeah. Okay.
He plays Clemson Merton.
Yeah, I like him so far in Peacemaker, so that's cool. Also, I gotta say, Vigilante is literally DC's Deadpool.
I really need to watch.
Wait, you haven't watched yet?
No, I passed out last night.
Dude, please watch. Please watch.
I just I'm gonna watch right when we finish because that's gonna lead up to the football today. And so I think I'm a genius. I'm a genius. But yeah, I mean High Evolutionary, that's a cool character. There is something that I do want to have a debate with you on.
Oh, okay, debate.
This is Marvel related. Okay, so Kevin Feige, he said that he wasn't planning on ever using Green Goblin or Doc Ock because he thought the Raimi movies did it so well.
Yeah.
That there is no way they could top it. Now,
okay.
I love Kevin.
Yeah.
But.
Okay.
But.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people in the 90s would have said that Jack Nicholson was the perfect Joker and nobody could ever top him.
I wouldn't go that far, probably.
But Heath Ledger comes along. And you got to remember, Heath Ledger delivered a legendary performance, right? Wins an Oscar, tragically passes away. And I think a lot of people would have said, nobody should ever play that role again because he perfected it. But then, Joaquin Phoenix comes along, wins an Oscar, delivers a legendary performance. And I think a lot of people would have said, nobody should ever do Joker again.
I have my take.
Then Barry Keoghan comes along. And we're about to find out.
Notice
how I skipped over Jared Leto.
I have my take on this. I agree that there could definitely be someone who does those characters justice. However, I don't think we should see them again in the MCU Spider-Man because we've already done the characters and there's still so many other characters that we have yet to even explore in the MCU or in Spider-Man as a whole, where give me a Mr. Negative movie before I get a Green Goblin movie because we've seen Goblin twice, or give me Kraven in one of these movies.
Now that I agree with you on. I agree that much like Batman Begins, where they intentionally avoid a Joker, where they're like, yo, let's do some Ra's al Ghul, let's do some Scarecrow, let's do some mob shit with the Falcones, right? Let's do all that, and then let's get into Joker and Two-Face and yada yada yada. But, and I agree with the sentiment that the MCU Spider-Man should have done the first few movies doing characters that haven't been done before. People have been dying to see Vulture. People have been dying to see Mysterio.
Mysterio. That was one we needed to see.
We got Shocker as well. We got, that's cool. And you got Aaron Davis, the Prowler. He got introduced as Childish Gambino's character.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really cool. But the word that I always use is eventually. Eventually, I want to see versions.
I want to see versions, but I don't want to see MCU versions. I'm going to be honest. I don't.
I disagree.
because for me, you're at a point where, well, let's say, depends. Like, is this? I'm not gonna say it is or isn't, but is this Holland's last trilogy?
No.
Okay, but is there a chance?
No.
I'm not saying he's done with the character. I'm just saying his last trilogy. That's a reasonable thing to say.
No.
That could happen. That could happen.
No. No.
Okay, well, let's say it is for this argument's sake. Okay, let's just say it is. This is the last trilogy for Tom Holland. He's gonna do 6 movies, which is a lot. Which is a lot.
Oh, you meant this upcoming?
No. This the next trilogy, the next 3 movies. Yeah.
Okay, then yes, there is a chance.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say this next trilogy is gonna be his last. Do you really want to put a character or two characters we've seen already when we only have 3 movies left and a lot of other untapped characters? Like, I'd rather, like, if we're gonna do a goblin, I'd rather see a hobgoblin before I see a green goblin in this trilogy.
My hand is raised.
Yes, Tom.
My hand is raised. You know what you do? You know what you do?
Yeah.
You tie this all the way back to 2000, 2001, when Spider-Man 1 was in development. A lot of people don't know this, but Green Goblin and Doc Ock, they're supposed to be in the same movie.
I knew that, actually.
That is the one that I would end Tom Holland's tenure as Spider-Man on. That is the Spider-Man 6 he takes on. You get fucking, you know what you do? You introduce Norman and Otto as like mentor figures through the first 2 films, right? Like, let's say Otto is like he's one of his like physics teachers, whatever, in college, right? And
Okay.
they form a bond. But also Peter meets Harry, and like you do something where he meets Norman as well, and then you could do Harry becomes Hobgoblin like first, and then Norman in the third becomes Green Goblin to get back at Peter. Mm-hmm. But also, like in the first of the trilogy, you can do Mr. Negative, like you said, and then you could bring Mr. Negative back for the third one, and you could do fucking Vulture, fucking Morbius, fucking Mysterio, it doesn't matter. Like, you could bring all these characters back in one big culmination, and instead of bringing, because let's say hypothetically Spider-Man 6 is after Secret Wars.
Okay.
Let's say the multiverse is locked off, so Toby and Andrew can't come in and help. This is the one where, like, Spider-gasm, okay? Where, like, it's Tom Holland in his dinky-ass suit. He got rid of the symbiote at some point. He's in his... I forgot about the symbiote.
Or
he's wearing the symbiote against these 6 villains. It gets ripped off. And then Goblin fucking stabs him. And, like, they fight to the death like in Ultimate Spider-Man. Right? And, like, you could either kill him off or you could have Tom Holland's character survive and then Miles takes over. Yada, yada. Do whatever the fuck you want. But, like, it's this big, like, $250 million budget just battle on the street. Like, it's just, like, no multiverse consequences or anything. It's just 6 villains who really do not like Peter Parker. And they want his ass dead.
You know, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. I mean, I think it'd be great, but it's not what I would do. Personally. Like, I know what I would do. I could definitely have the first movie be Mr. Negative for me. I would definitely start there. I think that's a great I think that's a great place to continue based on just, we finally got the introduction of Feast. We just had May die, and maybe Peter's trying to continue on with Feast and help out there, and that's where he meets Mr. Lee, and we get the whole Mr. Negative story. And then the next movie, 5, I would have it be the symbiote comes into play in that movie, and we have Kraven and Chameleon as the villains.
Ooh.
Or Scorpion, rather.
Scorpion.
Scorpion.
I knew what you were thinking.
I have those 2 be the villains for that movie. While he has the symbiote, we have a whole deep emotional arc in that movie. And then for the final movie, I have it be a high stakes, but also very personal movie where we keep it fairly small, actually, but higher in stakes and emotions. And I do that with Hobgoblin. And I do my own version of Hobgoblin. I make it really interesting, really deep, and I have that be a crazy story with Spider-Man, and he realizes this is not Green Goblin, but this is something really similar, and he has like PTSD going back to the Goblin he fought.
You
Like,
want to know what I think?
what?
I think you could do something really cool where like Peter tells Harry Osborn about his past life, about Ned and about MJ, and Harry uses that information and like in the comics, I believe Ned Leeds was framed
He was
as
framed. Yeah.
being the Hobgoblin. I think you could do some really fucked up shit to bring Jacob back. Like I would
Hmm.
do that. I would be
That's what I'm saying.
like the possibilities are endless because of that ending.
I feel like you can make that such a great finale to the trilogy if you play your cards right. And you got to
It's
be
not just a finale to the trilogy; it's a finale to like all six of the fucking
you
movies. If you
said
think about it,
that's why I think that's what I would do personally. But to clarify, I think your idea could be really awesome. That's just what I would do. That's just Luke Becker's next trilogy if I'm choosing.
I think either way is fine.
Oh yeah, no, me too. I think either way you can get something really cool out
We're
of
geniuses.
either. Yes, we're geniuses. That's all it is.
Yeah. Can you imagine if like Tom Holland's last Spider-Man movie though, like the very last one, whether it's Spider-Man 6 or whether it's Spider-Man 7 or 8, he decides to do like two more, whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, can you imagine they get Gyllenhaal back? They get like probably 80-year-old Michael Keaton back. They get uh whoever they want to play Norman, or you could go the Harry route and have Harry be the Goblin, whatever. You get, I think like maybe you bring in Aaron Taylor Johnson as Craven,
Uh,
and you just have like this big fucking Sinister Six, where like it's 1 versus 6, and it's Tom Holland Spider Man using all that he's learned throughout the 10, 15 years that he's been Spider
uh-huh.
Man, and it's just the culmination of everything that was building up. Him becoming New York's hero, the one, the most famous Marvel hero of them all. Because let's be honest, when you think of Spider-Man, you think of like he's right next to the
Yep.
Marvel logo. I mean, come on now, it's Spider-Man. Like you want it, you if you're gonna have him go out with a bang, you are going out with a bang,
Hmm.
and we're gonna make sure that he goes out with a bang. So I'm glad that I brought that up because it created a nice debate between us.
Man. Yeah, no, that was a very interesting conversation to have. I haven't really thought too deep about it, but like at the same time, I knew where I wanted it to go though. That's definitely my idea for where I'd like it to go. And either way, there's so many possibilities, man. It's very exciting to think about what I mean, God, if you don't even know who's going to be directing this next trilogy, I mean, that's going to be a whole interesting conversation too when we get there. I mean,
I volunteer.
yeah, you volunteer.
I volunteer. Clearly,
I
I have the vision.
yes. We can be co-directors. That'd be cool.
Bang.
Bang. But either way though, this has been a very fun talk, and I think there's another. You know what? I have a question I want to talk to you about actually. One
Go
last
for it.
discussion I'll have before we log off. This is more general Marvel, kind of a long term kind of scope kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I think the next event we're building towards is Secret Wars, probably. That's probably where this is heading. Outside of little mini events maybe leading up to it, but like the big one is Secret Wars. How far off do you realistically think that is? And beyond that, how do you think they can realistically pull something like that off? Because I try to like wrap my head around it and I have like a million questions every time.
Pull off Secret Wars.
From both like a production standpoint, a story standpoint, getting it done in like one or two movies only because of how expansive the story is. Like there's so many different things that come to and like without mutants potentially. We don't even have mutants yet. Like there's so many ooh.
Bro. Okay. I'm glad you asked this question.
Yeah. It's a topic
Because
I'm very interested in as a whole and I'd love to discuss it.
because let's be honest, this is a question that I'm sure even they're asking.
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to pull this off?
Like, do you know how many people they're gonna need to pay to be in this movie? Like, they're gonna have to bring back literally. When I say everyone,
They're
I
gonna have to
literally,
do
like, I mean everybody.
like, bro. You know, I'm gonna make a baseball reference here.
Yeah.
Well, let's say, you know, the Washington Nationals, how when they sign a player to a big contract, they defer the money out
Yes.
over.
Yes.
They're gonna have to do that. Like it's
Yeah,
gonna
like it's gonna be crazy money, dude.
like you're gonna have to defer. Like, hey, Hugh Jackman, we're not gonna be able to pay you like 20 million now, but we could pay you like 5 million each year for the next 4 years if
Uh-huh.
that's cool with you. Like, because like, I mean, that movie, like you said, I don't think like, I mean, how can you get
Like
like you have to try to at least try to capture the scale of what the comic was.
because you already set the bar in Endgame fairly high. And you have to beat that scale by like times 10, quite literally. And that's not even a joke. Like you're going that because think about Doctor Strange 2, how tough it was to get probably a lot of these actors there for the cameos. You're going to have to do that in addition to getting all of the MCU characters together for one giant fight. Like
Can Daredevil be in this one though?
yes, and beyond that too, you're also probably going to need because I'd be shocked if they don't. You're probably going to be bringing back Robert Downey Jr. and like Chris Evans for this. You probably are, and I think that's a great idea. And I support that for just that movie. I think that's genius. So let's say they're doing all of that. You're talking about the most expensive ensemble casts ever times 20. Like
All right, here's
it's
what
that
you do.
big.
I think I've cracked it.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, the budget
Yes.
is going to be around 600 million. It's gonna be two. It's gonna be two parts. Two parts, right? So
Okay.
300 million. Like, let's even say 700 million. Let's say 350. Okay, for each movie.
Uh-huh.
Now, because it's Marvel, you can do this. You can make this sort of investment if you're an investor who invests in these budgets, right? If you're one of the Disney investors, because these movies make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like Avengers Endgame is like, come on. So basically,
Uh-huh.
you spend $350 million, you get the actors together, and it's got to be two parts. And the movie itself, in order to make the movie work, you have to make the movie 3 hours.
Yeah,
Both
both parts. Both
both
parts.
parts,
Like literally.
and
God,
and
that's tough.
and you may even have to do like a little prologue on Disney Plus.
Like I really like that's what I'm that's like so crazy, but you're right. Like that's might be the only way they can literally do it. And that's such like they're gonna have to do what they did with Endgame and Infinity War, where like they literally filmed back to back. Like
You
they
have to
filmed
do
it.
it.
They
You
filmed
can't.
Infinity War, and then they
You
had like
can't.
an 8-week gap, and then they
You
filmed all
can't.
of Endgame.
You can't take a break. You can't take a
No,
break. Like it's
you can't.
literally because like scheduling, you have to get these schedules have to be tight. Because if one day gets fucked up, like it could fuck up.
Like
Like you would
call
have
call
to.
me crazy. There's a good chance within the next year, they're gonna probably have to start calling actors to like be like, we're gonna need like a full year of you
To-
filming, like
Toby.
this time. Like yeah,
So let's think of all the actors that could be involved. I do not think Ben Affleck will reprise his role as Daredevil for
no,
this one.
I
But
will. Yeah, I'll make this list with you right now.
so Toby, Andrew,
Tobey Maguire, yeah, Andrew Garfield.
maybe Nick Cage.
I'll put him as a maybe. Nicholas
Is
Cage.
yeah, we should have the definites and the maybes,
Yeah,
right? Hugh Jackman,
Hugh Jackman. Yeah. I'm not, probably not Patrick Stewart if I had to guess. Only because he's getting up there. He's getting up there in
McAvoy,
age. McAvoy. Yeah, I'll say
McAvoy.
McAvoy.
What about Fassbender?
I would bet. Yeah.
McAvoy, Fassbender. Maybe bring in like Nicholas Holt as Beast from his X-Men days. Fuck. James Marsden. Remember he was Cyclops.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Uh, I would love to get James Marsden in there. Maybe you get Famke Jensen because remember her and Hugh Jackman. She played Jean Grey in the original.
Oh. Okay.
Because like you want to get some resolution there, I guess. Uh,
Um,
Ryan Reynolds.
yeah,
Like,
no, definitely, definitely.
uh, but also let's not forget the villains as well. Like, let's remember, like, you could get the 2005 Fantastic Four. You could get
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
get Cloud Galactus. No, don't do that.
Cloud Galactus just comes in and farts all over everybody.
Can you imagine if Silver Surfer meets MCU Silver Surfer from the 2007? Because Lawrence Fishburne played.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be dope. Uh,
I'm not gonna
like
lie, that Silver Surfer look was not bad.
no, it was actually like they
Yeah,
just
like,
did
that
they
was
just did
yeah,
they just did the look. Like it's
yeah,
him
yeah. It was cool.
basically do the look and have a cool voice, and they got Lawrence Fishburne's voice. So
Yeah,
like maybe Wesley Snipes comes in there.
that for that movie, that would be cool. For, at least for just for that one.
Like fuck, I mean like the amount of actors and like there are some
Like,
there
dude,
are
it's
Eric Bana as Hulk maybe is a maybe as well. Fuck man, like gee, and
and
like you said, the Evans and Downey and like all the past. I mean, maybe you get ScarJo back.
probably like I guarantee you. Again, that's the one because you got to keep in mind the multiverse is gonna close after. So that's literally the last chance you're gonna have to use these actors. So like I don't see a scenario where they don't bring in like Scarlett Johansson and the like I bet you right now they're definitely gonna do this. They're gonna recreate the Avengers Assemble from Avengers 1 where they're all in the circle and it does the pan around them. They're gonna recreate that in Secret Wars. Calling that right now.
You know what they should do? They should do like a panning shot, kind of like they did in Avengers Endgame, where you see all the heroes. But it should be like in kind of the shape of an A or something.
Oh my god.
Like, come on. I don't know. I'm cheesy like that, but like,
It'd be cool though, yeah.
but like, do you get? Because remember, My Time to Shine said like they kind of want more of Willem Dafoe. Do you get Dafoe back?
Oh my god.
Because like you want the villains to be back there too, right? I mean,
I
'cause,
mean,
like
I don't know. It depends, what would his role be there? For example, like what would he be
just
doing?
fuck some shit up. I don't know.
He's just throwing bombs at random
He's just
people.
fucking throwing bombs. He's stabbing people. Like that's all I have to say. Maybe you get like Jamie Foxx, Dane DeHaan back from Amazing Spider. I don't care. Like fucking
God.
like literally anything and everything when it comes to Secret Wars is on the table, except for the people who wouldn't be interested, like Ben Affleck.
Like,
But you don't even need Ben Affleck. You just bring Charlie Cox right in there.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to figure out how many MCU heroes there are. Like, and how many, and beyond that, how many more are there gonna be by the time we get to Secret Wars? Because
Bro, I just like literally forgot that they're introducing Fantastic Four in like
no, that's what I'm like. That's four right there, and then beyond
Moon
that,
Knight. Let's not forget Moon Knight.
you got Moon Knight, you have
Blade.
She-Hulk, you got
Black Knight, Dane Whitman,
Miss Marvel, all of the Eternals, like
bro.
dude,
I think 350 million was actually a little bit light on the budget.
it is light. Like I don't know how they. The thing is though, they can spend 400 million, and they're gonna get a profit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Because like this is a movie, like they're gonna make at minimum what they made with Endgame, and probably more. Like probably more. So like you're talking well over $3 billion potentially.
So
Like
let's say
for
this.
both for both movies.
So let's say this. So you're guaranteed with Secret Wars, you're making at least $2 billion for both movies. If it's a two-parter, you're making $2 billion for both movies.
Each. That's minimum. That's
so that's
minimum.
So that's $4 billion total.
Yeah.
So you spend, let's say, 500 million for the budget for each movie. So you make $1 billion investment.
Yeah.
And you're making at least $2 billion each. So you're gonna make $4 billion at worst if there's like a fucking global pandemic, because like the Spider-Verse movie just made $1.5 billion. Okay,
and that's without China too. Like under regular circumstances, that movie makes $2 billion international.
Yeah.
No, even
Well,
under like even COVID circumstances, that's 2 billion international if you count China, probably. So like you're talking a movie like Secret Wars, dude. That's minimum 2 billion, and I still think even with COVID, it would still make like 2.5 billion. Like people are coming out to see that movie, dude.
yeah,
they're going to see
bro.
that movie.
Okay,
Especially
so
like they're gonna market that movie. Like they're gonna
can you
market it
imagine
with
the
like
fucking poster? Just like the poster is just gonna be like this
oh my
fucking big,
god.
and it's just gonna be like you see like Hugh Jackman standing next to Tobey Maguire Spider Man, standing next to Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, standing next to Johan Griffith's Mr. Fantastic, and then you got like on the bottom there you got RDJ and like Chris Evans or some shit, and it's like, huh,
I
like.
I don't know what to say.
Or you have like the three Spider-Man standing together or some shit. It's like, we're doing this again. We're doing this again.
Like you're literally talking over 100 heroes easily.
Is there a story to this? Probably not, but are we gonna enjoy it? Yeah. But like,
There's literally gonna be well over 100 heroes. Like that's not even lowballing. Like you're talking like I just don't know how. It's crazy, man. It's
all right.
fucking nuts.
So you're gonna get RDJ. You're gonna have Riri Williams as well. So he's gonna meet
Oh
her.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Don Cheadle. You're gonna get War Machine back. Uh, and not to mention, you're not just paying the heroes, you have to pay the villains
Yeah.
as well. So like fucking Tom Hiddleston's getting some bread. Do you bring like I don't think Thanos comes back though.
No, I
Like
don't think Thanos.
I think you leave Thanos where he's at. I think like
Yeah.
you got to pay Jonathan Majors because like come on now. If he's the big bad of Secret Wars.
I think one day I'm not gonna do it now because I literally could never do it. But I'm gonna make a doc with every person I think is gonna be in that movie, and I'm just
You
gonna.
know that may just have to be like our next
That might be a
episode.
project. Yeah, that might be a project for us. That might be.
Like,
I
bro,
will do
I'm
it.
in
I will
on
fucking
that.
do it.
I'm in on that. And you know what we should do?
Oh god, yeah.
We should make a fan trailer for Secret Wars. Just like a
Oh.
5 minute, just a 5 minute edit of
You know how many edits I would need to make to get everybody in that trailer? I'd want to put in the trailer.
like, bro,
Jesus Christ.
you're gonna have to like, oh my, dude. Like the thing is like we're fanning out over this, but like here's the thing, like this is like happening.
No, like this is
Like,
like mostly happening. Like
this is like it's happening. Like it's gonna happen. Like within the next, I would say 5 years. I mean, geez.
make I wouldn't even because I think it might be less because of people have been speculating like that move like guy from Charles Murphy, even Daniel RPK, like he makes it sound like 2025, 2026, like that's it's coming around then. And if that's and keep in mind, let's say it came 2025 first part. Let's just say hypothetically. Production has to start on that 2024. So you're talking like that's like 2 years, and you'd hear about it probably by 2023. So like when you think about it, it's not you're going to be hearing about this in the next couple of years either way, probably. Like
How
it's
is this like? This is happening, man. Like, what the fuck? Like,
it's going to be the biggest movie in history, and it's going to be nuts. Like, and you're talking the largest ensemble cast with 100+ people, and a lot of these aren't no names. These are big name actors, dude.
not
These
to
are
mention,
like it's huge.
not to mention, you're paying the heroes, you're paying the villains, but you got to remember, you also have to pay the side characters.
Yeah,
Like, you have to pay like fucking Gwyneth Paltrow if you want her coming back. You got to pay like Jon Favreau if you want him. So
yeah.
like fucking Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
Just like fuck, man. Like that's
Oh, dude, she's Spider May.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. Yo, what if they bring in Emma Stone as Spider Gwen in that movie?
They probably will. Like they probably will, and that's because they're probably gonna do that at some point anyway. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
I wonder if legally they can bring in Eric Bana as Hulk, because remember that's a Universal movie.
They can probably work it out.
Like,
But also another one I just fucking thought Venom's probably gonna be in that fucking movie.
fuck, man? Jesus.
Like, probably, right? I mean,
Can you imagine if they brought Woody Harrelson back and he gets put in there? Like,
oh my god. Dude,
Riz Ahmed comes in there as well.
this list is so expansive. What the fuck?
It's gonna be
I'm getting a headache just trying to type some of this out right now. What the hell?
like
I don't even know what to do. Like, I barely even started this list, and how many do I have already? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have like 30 people here, and I barely even scratched the surface of this list. Like, barely.
Like if you just continue going, like, bro, it's almost like something that like only can happen in a comic book, where it's like,
yeah,
but like they're gonna actually try to do it. They're gonna actually try to do the damn thing, and I respect it.
I'm still just at a loss because I mean, like, we're gonna have so many. Like, I was looking at my Marvel shelf on my left of movies. Like, we're gonna have a lot of characters from like Shang-Chi too, and like we're gonna have
I forgot.
Like, you're probably gonna have fucking like dragons flying over the battlefield.
Just like how?
Like,
I'm just looking up here right now. It's like everyone up there is fair game. It's like
it's fair game.
and not to mention that, like, you could see multiple versions of the same character.
I mean, Jesus, I mean, think about all the people from Wakanda by itself. You know how many people are from Wakanda in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like,
it's a large nation.
like, and like the Guardians, fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. All
my god. It's just, I'm so glad we brought that up because it's created just a moment between us where we're just starting to realize the scope of what we're about to get into. Not to mention the new X-Men if they bring in the mutants in time.
I don't know what to do anymore, man.
Like, they may just have to turn that into like like an entire slate in itself.
Like, I remember some people talking like a while ago at some point, like this is a good chance this will be a Disney Plus series. I'm like, dude, a Disney Plus series does not have a fucking $300-400 million budget. That's not happening. Like, this is gonna be a movie. And like you said, maybe they can do like a prelude thing as a show, maybe. But like the event, that's a fucking movie. And that's not just a movie. That is the most expensive movie in the history of movies. And you're going to get 2 of them. So, I mean, Jesus, do they go 3 parts? Like, do they make it a 3-parter? Like, I don't know. I really don't know anymore.
Bro. I can't believe, like, come on. I need that.
Yeah, I think, honestly, we might do that next episode. We might literally, I'm gonna make a list for you. And I'm gonna go through the entire roster with you, and we're gonna collectively shit.
You know what? It's on next episode. Tom and Luke pitch Marvel's Avengers Secret Wars because they will call it. They're gonna call it Avengers Secret Wars. They're gonna use the brand name.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely.
So Tom and Luke pitch Marvel's Avengers Secret Wars, and it's gonna be. We have to try to keep it as realistic as possible as to who would be interested and who, in terms of their age, would be physically able to do it. Because like in 5 years, who knows if Patrick Stewart is still as active as he is. But man, oh man.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna probably work on this list today, honestly, because now I'm excited.
I created a monster.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll call it there. We've been going for 2 hours.
I feel like that's the conversation to end it on.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. Well, this has been a very expansive episode of Cave Time. But until next time, see you, everybody.
Peace out, everyone.